Hi there, how are you doing? It's nice to see you again. So today, if I remember rightly, we ordered you some frames to be delivered so that we can see how you feel with those on before we actually choose the correct glasses for you. Is that right? Excellent. Let me just pull up your file. It is, yeah, that is how you spell it, isn't it? Yeah, that's great. Okay, right, we've got you up here. So just there we go. Okay, so I think this is your trial, if I'm not mistaken. It is. So they have been delivered on time, which always a good thing. But before we get into those, I'm going to ask just to have a look at your current glasses. I just need to check sizings and things like that just to make sure that these frames that you've ordered are actually going to be an okay size for you. So if you just, thank you very much. Okay, these are French Connection glasses. Now these clearly seen better days. They snapped a few days ago. Yeah, I can see that they've snapped just here. How did that happen? Okay, so you do a lot of sports. So are you going to be after something a little bit hardier this time around than these slightly thinner framed glasses? Yeah, that's fine. We can definitely make sure that the glasses we choose today will be hardier. Did you try fixing them yourself? I thought so. What did you try using? Because that looks very faintly like super glue. I thought as much. The super glue won't have held unless it was a super glue specific for metal, because obviously they're metal. So that won't have worked, unfortunately, as you're no doubt aware. So if I just look inside the arm, it will give me a sizing list somewhere, unless it has rubbed off, which, if I'm not mistaken, it has. Yeah, no, there is no sizing left in there, which is fine. It's not a problem. I have got a tape measure, so I can have a quick measure up of these just to see their width. So to measure the width, you don't actually take a width measurement of the whole glasses. You take a width measurement of the lens. So if you're ever looking to order from our online store, you will know that the width measurement actually is from its thickest point across the lens. Okay, it might have a frame width, which would be from this point to this point, but it's unlikely. They don't tend to offer that kind of measurement. So let's just have a look see here. Okay, so these are a 49 millimeter. So from its thickest point to its thickest point would be a 49 millimeter, which is relatively small. Are you after something a little bit bigger this time? I thought as much based on what we've ordered over here. I'm also going to measure the arm depth on these, so that would be from this point here to this point here, the point where it starts to curve behind the ear. And then I'm going to take a few measurements on you just to make sure that the next ones fit you perfectly. So just taking it across the arm like so. Okay, and okay, so that's about 110 millimeters. So what I'm going to do in a moment is just measure from the back of your ear to basically your eye, because we want to make sure that the arms are of the right length on the frames that we choose. So do you want to take these home with you, or would you like me to recycle them for you? No, that's perfectly fine. We can recycle them. the lenses can't be reused, but the actual frame can be recycled, and that will give you 20% off your frame size, your frame purchase if you choose to make one through us. So these are French Connection as well. So these weren't cheap ones. How long have you had them for? About 2 years. Okay, well they've held up reasonably well. But if you do buy lenses from us and they do snap, like these ones have, don't hesitate to pop down because we will sort them out ourselves. And if we can't, then we will replace them completely free for you, provided it's within 2 years. Okay, so I'm just going to pop them to your side. I don't want you to put them on just yet because I need to take some measurements before we get started. I'm going to get a bit closer to you now. I hope you don't mind. I don't normally get this close, I know, but sometimes I have very little option. So the first thing I want to do is actually measure the width of your eye, because as we've just seen, your current glasses are 49mm, and you're wanting to go a little bit bigger this time. But there is a general rule that if you have a narrow eye, then you don't want to go too wide, because then it will make the eye look narrower. But if you go too short, then it will also make the eye look really closed in. Okay, so let me just stay still for me. Okay, so we're just going to, okay, so your eye is around about, okay, yeah, no, that's perfect. I'm just going to go over to this side and do this eye as well. I just want to make sure that we get, okay, and for future reference I will put this down on your file so that you don't have to worry about it not showing, about having somebody this close to you next time. Okay, so both eyes are slightly different, and that is something else that is just always going to happen. So if I just write these down, so left eye width and right eye width. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, nobody's face is completely symmetrical, so the width of your eyes is usually out by, usually not even a millimetre, usually just like a point of a millimetre, which is what yours is, so that's all good. Okay, so now I'm going to be getting a bit closer again, and I'm just going to be making sure that I'm just going to be measuring the depth of the arm, so that, because if it curves too early, then it's going to hurt you a little bit, it's going to be digging in. We can adjust it. We use a special heat machine to adjust it, but it's obviously just easier if we don't have to do that in the first place. So just stay still again for me, and I'm going to begin right up behind this ear. Okay, we're going to be going right across to your eye. So just stay where you are for me. Okay. Okay, so that's excellent. Now we also call this measurement your left eye measurement, but it's left eye to ear measurement, and that is it. So you will have noticed occasionally, I imagine, that your old glasses were rubbing behind that ear, and that's because they're a little bit what we would call short. You would want them normally to be just a few millimetres longer so that they don't rub so much. That's something that we will make sure isn't a problem with the next pair. Where did you get your original glasses from? Yeah, well, that kind of figures then, I suppose. No comment. Okay, so I'm just going to be doing the same on this ear. So just right from behind the ear. Okay. Stay perfectly still for me. Okay, no, I've got a bit too far now. Okay. That is really where you would want it to be going. Okay. Now I am happy with that. Okay, so that's your right eye to ear measurement. So if I just roll that up and put it down. So measurement. Excellent. So, I think the next thing then is to just get on with trying some of the pairs that we bought, which is always the exciting part. So, got the box back here. Now you bought these. Did you order these with one of our colleagues, or did you choose them online and then choose to come down? You ordered them online and choose to come down. Okay, well, we always recommend that you come down first to order them, just because although we try to show the glasses as best we can online in their true style, that's not always possible. Sometimes people get a little bit disappointed with how they look in real life. So just bear that in mind as we pull these out and we try them. So as you can see, we have 4 frames that you ordered online. I'm noticing that they're all slightly bigger than, well, quite a lot bigger than those pairs, except for one. So we might start with this first pair. This first pair look very similar to the pair that you've just taken off. I'm just going to set this down just here. Okay. Yeah, this pair is very, very similar to the original pair. And these are by Kangol, and they are black and gunmetal grey. Okay, so just taking them out of their packaging. All of these frames will have to be sent back before the end of the day, but if you would like to extend the trial on any pairs, then please let us know, and I can ring and speak to the people who are in charge of them, make sure they haven't already been promised out somewhere else, and possibly get you extended. So that is this pair. As you can see, they have a Kangol sticker on there. That's just for the home trial purposes. It's nothing to do with how they will actually come. The sides, if we show the sides of your old ones, these are actually very, very similar. So the sides of your old one compared to the sides of this style. So also the nose pieces are very similar. So these ones are good if you find that the nose, it gets very uncomfortable with regular glasses, because they can be adjusted. They do feel, just feel that. Yeah, they do feel a little bit flimsier than I would like, personally, but the arms do extend out and snap back into position, which is very good. That makes them a little bit hardier. Your current ones, do they do that? Not really. They do a little, but not enough. Not as much as you would want them to. These just have that little bit extra to go on, and that's excellent. So if I just have a look on the inside, these don't have any measurements on there. So let me just have a look on the packaging. So these are a 54mm wide, which, if I hold them up against your old pair, does make them quite a little bit wider. But that might be something you're really interested in. Okay, so if you just, I'm just going to slip these over onto your face. So if you just bear with me ever so slightly, and on they go. Okay, so how are they feeling? Do they feel okay? Yeah, I'm just going to have a look behind this ear. Okay. Just the arms on these are a little bit longer than the old ones. Probably too long, but we can use the heat machine to pull that back a little bit. Okay, let me have a look behind this here now. Just stay still for me as much as possible. Okay. Okay, Yeah, no, they're just a little bit too long. Okay, let me have a look at you from the front. Now, I'm noticing that they do look a little bit. You have what I would class as quite a oval-shaped face, similar to mine, and I think that the frames are a little bit lost on you. Yeah. They do look very nice from the sides because they've got. I'll just take those off you for now. Okay, thank you. Because they've got this detailing just here. I don't know if you can see that, but they've got a detailing just here that makes it so that they do look pretty nice. But I think it's important that you remember that up here there is very little detail. The bridge of the nose is quite square as well, which it does suit you, but I'm not sure that these are the right glasses for you. Personally, I mean, you might love them, but how did they feel? Quite comfortable. The nose was hurting a little bit. Well, that can be adjusted. Yeah, now that's easy enough to adjust. A little bit of heat, and we are good to go. Okay, so that's the first pair. So how are we feeling about the thickness of the frame? What are your thoughts on that? Okay, so you agreed with me a little. Okay, well, let me just compare what we've got left. So next then, we'll take these ones, which are by religion. As you can see through the packet, they are a good bit thicker framed, a full frame, rather than the half frame. And these are, out of all that you've got, these are the next smallest. They're also the roundest, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're also the most round. I'm not sure if round is something that you really are going to be interested in when you see it on. With an oval face shape, sometimes rounded glasses can enhance the ovalness of the face. You might want slightly more squared off glasses, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'll show you the glasses. Obviously, again, they say religion on them, but that will fade. That will not be on any glasses that you do actually buy. They're a plastic lens at the moment. And the first thing I'm going to notice for you is that these arms do not bend at all, but the actual frame feels quite flimsy. It's very squeaky, which I don't know if you can hear that. I am not a fan of a squeaky frame. My job here is to obviously sell a pair of glasses to you, but it's also my job to make sure that they suit you and that they're going to last you and that you're happy when you leave. So I'm going to point out everything I notice about the glasses that you might not notice until you've gone away. So these have a very thin metal arm, and they're a 52 millimeter lens. So they're how big were the other ones? I think they were 52 as well, weren't they? No, they were a 54. So these ones are actually smaller than the other ones across, but then they're obviously bigger down. Do you like the look of them? You're just concerned about the squeaky. No, that's something that concerns me as well. Shall we try them on? Obviously, they don't have an adjustable nose plate. The nose plates are completely still, and that's just the way they will be. That's how mine are right now, and normally I find the nose plates can be quite painful. They can rub, and I have to adjust them a lot. These I don't have to. That's not something I have to worry about. But they never feel uncomfortable. So that might be something to bear in mind. Okay, let's just slip them on. So just stay still for me. And over they go, around the back of your ears, and around the back of this one. Okay. So let me just have a look behind. Okay. Again, the arms are a little long on these, but they can be adjusted. I'm just not entirely sure how much they can be adjusted by because of the metal band. Okay, have a look behind this ear. I'm noticing that this ear, that these are brand new, hot off the press. They've not been borrowed out to anybody before, and they're already seeming a little wonky. And I think that's because of the extremely thin arms on them. If I just pull them off of you, then I think because of the extremely thin arms, they aren't particularly great at keeping their shape. So if you're somebody who, as you've already said, partakes in sport, they might not be the best buy for you. You might want something a little less rickety and a little thicker, just a little bit more solid built. You don't like them anyway, do you? I can tell. No, that's perfectly fine. I personally think that, because these are actually they're the most expensive of the bunch, which I don't see where they get their value. Let's just put them away, and then we can pull out. Okay, so the third small, the second biggest frame. These are by Ben Sherman in shiny black, and they also have a gold strip on them. These look to be a lot firmer than the others, and these are also a 52 across, but they're a little bit deeper down, and they're also squarer, which in fact the shape of them is very similar to mine now. So just take them out of their packaging, and let's get them opened up. Wow, they are very, their arms are very tightly sprung. I'm having to use some force to get that arm open. That can be loosened out or tightened depending on your needs. Okay, so we'll just take a tour around. So the front of the frame is a shiny plastic. The side is a matte plastic, which is interesting, with this shiny gold band which says Ben Sherman across it, I think on both sides. Yeah. These again don't have adjustable nose plates, they just have the standard nose plate, which is perfectly, which you how did you feel about that on the other ones? You agree with me? Yeah, they tend to be, though they do find they slip down your face a little bit more because they don't have quite such a firm grip on your nose, but they do feel a lot more comfortable. And when I take them off, I don't have red. Normally I would have like a red mark each side of my nose where the adjustable plates have been, but for these ones, nothing like that. Okay, so on the inside of these ones is the traditional Ben Sherman pattern. It's like I forgot the name of that. It's like a print, but it's not off-putting because it's on the inside, so it doesn't make much difference. But what does put me off slightly is the fact that this part is shiny and this part is matte. I don't understand that contrast. I just imagine that the matte plastic part will show up any kind of markings a lot easier than the shiny. But the bridge of the nose is also really quite thin for glasses of this kind, but they might feel okay. Let's try them on, shall we? Okay, just sit still for me. Okay, just edging them over. Okay, just gonna have a look behind this ear for you. Okay, this is the first arm that I've seen so far today that actually looks as if it fits without any adjustment needed. And I must admit that looking at you straight on, I do see that this kind of shape is perfect for you. This is definitely the kind of shape that enhances your eyes and generally enhances the shape of your face and makes you look a little bit more angular, which is always good. I'm quite fond of the golden band across on down the side. The only thing I would say is it will mean you have to be quite careful about what you're picking to wear, I suppose. Although it doesn't really matter too much when it comes to glasses, I don't think. I mean, mine have got like a teal colour down the side. But I find that some colours work really well with any colour, such as gold. So maybe you'll be alright. Just looking at your head on. No, that is what I would class as the best shape for you so far. The only thing I have a problem with is these springs, which obviously the arms don't edge out, which means that they might become quite reasonably uncomfortable. When the arms move out just slightly, then it means that the arm can get a little bit more snug to your face. It can really adjust to your face size and the width of your head. Whereas these, your head has got to be that wide, otherwise there's no give. So how did they feel on? They felt snug. And is that uncomfortable snug? Okay. Let's go on to the next pair then. Also a Ben Sherman pair. These, from what I can see, have the exact same pattern inside them. So we'll just put these ones away. Okay. And then let's get the next pair out. So I've got the next pair, and these are the biggest of the bunch. These are 55 width lens. They're also a good deal bigger a drop. So they're also the most protected pair that I have seen. The springs on these are much nicer. Again, no adjustable nose plate. Also, unlike the other ones, the patterning goes all the way through the inside, which is actually reasonably nice. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but if it's like this, look. They're like almost see-through just down this strip here, which might be something you like, might not be. Okay, so I'm just taking some plastic off of the arm as well. Now these are a matte plastic all over, which actually I think looks reasonably cheap, if I'm completely honest. But for some reason, on top of the arm, there is a shiny plastic strip, which I don't quite understand. So the arms, the only detailing really is the Ben Sherman logo, which is there, and then that strip just there, which is like the see-through bit. I think it's just a continuation of this bit around here, because if you notice, the nose block is also reasonably see-through. So these are a good deal squarer than the others, but they're also a good deal bigger, and I'm not sure whether they're going to be the right size for you. The arms adjust quite nicely. I don't have to fight with them. So let's try them on. So just sit still again for me, and we're going to just... There we go. Okay. So... okay. I would say the arms are reasonably good, although I'm noticing some bowing in the arm of this one. It's a reasonably thin plastic. There's no metal to hold it together, which isn't particularly great. So it will bow a little. If I look at your head on, I would say it's difficult to say whether they're too big for you. Based on my opinion, I would suggest that they probably are, but I'm not sure. It's entirely your own opinion. but I would personally say that they're a little bit too big and a little bit too thick for you, because they stick out far too much. So I'm just gonna have a look behind this here and see. Okay. Yeah, no, this arm bows as well. I wonder if that's just how they're supposed to, but then when I look at the arm in comparison to this arm, they're not bowing in the same way, which implies to me that maybe it's not how it's supposed to be. I'm just going to get a little closer. Let me just... Okay. Let me take those off. Okay. I don't think that they are really for you. My favourite of the ones that you've ordered are the third pair we tried, the other Ben Sherman pair. This pair just seems to be too big, and it's also the arms with the a pair of glasses. This is a test that we always do on glasses. Hold it by this arm, they stay open. Beautiful. Hold it by this arm, they don't. Now, these aren't brand new off the press. These have been tried by other people, this pair. So that may explain why this arm is a little looser than the others. But, a true pair of glasses would not, you wouldn't expect them to get quite so worn down already. You would expect them to, at this point, because they're only a few weeks old, they've only been borrowed out to a few people, so you would expect them to hold the shape a little better than they are doing, and to for their springs to still be firm. So, what do you feel about any of those pairs? Do you want to have another look at any of them, or you don't? Okay, no, that's believe me, I think you've done very well to choose that, because I don't think any of those glasses particularly suited you. So what I suggest we do is me and you go and have a look at some frames. We can either try on some of the ones in store, or we can both go through online and have a look, because we've got a special camera installed that will take a 360-degree picture of your face and allow you to virtually try on the glasses, which you can't do from home at the moment, although it will be rolling out soon. So what I want you to be able to do is leave here either knowing that you've picked the right glasses, or knowing that some of the frames that are coming for you to try out, they will be here in 3 days at the most. So that's what I would suggest we do from here. If you've got me with you, I think you are more likely to... a second opinion is always good, basically. Exactly, yeah. So did you pick them all online yourself, without anybody else with you? Okay, now, I mean, I wouldn't say you've made a huge mistake. Some people come in and they have ordered glasses that really don't suit them. You got very close with the with the first Ben Sherman pair. The quality of them is not what you're looking for. You're looking for something hardy and that is going to last you, and that you don't want to have to keep coming down to have fixed, and they didn't feel like that to either of us. So I think you've made the right choice. We can perhaps take that frame with us and have a look for a similar frame that is going to be hardier. Brilliant, that's what we'll do then. Okay? Well, I'm very glad you've had not a fantastic time here, because you've not come away with the glasses that you wanted, but I'm glad that we know what direction we're going in now. So if you just go and start having a quick browse, I will just finish marking up your file, and then we'll pick some together, okay? Excellent. Right, I'll see you in a moment then.